The first basic steps when I tell people, obviously, you want to start a business because you have an idea. And the hardest thing, what I find challenging for people, is how to network. I know I talk about this a lot, but if you're service-based, if you don't have a product to sell, you are selling your mind. Pretty much you're selling your expertise.
Yeah.
And that's really hard because a lot of times people might not believe in you. And especially for me, it's challenging because I'm still young. You know, I don't have 20 or 30 years of experience behind my name. So, but networking has been my best friend. And so I'll just, you know, kind of briefly tell you two of the most important steps I do when it comes to networking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you apply these to, you know, your business, or if you want to grow your network, I guarantee you that it's going to help, because the steps that I've done, it never turned me down. So what I do, I go on Eventbrite. First of all, I go on eventbrite.com. You know, everybody knows that. And I search different networking business opportunities in my area, and most of them are free. And some of them, you know, you pay 20, 30 bucks, you know, whatever,
Right.
just because there's refreshments. So what I do, I always have business cards with me, and I go to those events and I just see people who I might be interested in, you know, continuing my conversation with. And always, whenever I meet somebody, I don't tell them my whole story, because they're not interested in my story at the moment. They didn't come to see me. They came for the event, you know? Because sometimes I see people just kind of say it all out, and the person is like, oh, I can't wait to leave, you know? Just introduce yourself and don't talk about yourself. Just ask questions and tell them how interested you are. For example, like, let's say I just met you, Kevin, at an event, and I would introduce myself and, you know, kind of ask you, so what do you do, Kevin? I know you told me you're starting, you know, you're doing the Rising Tide startups. I wouldn't start talking about what I do so I can be on your show. I would just ask you a question. Wow, that's so amazing. How did you get into this? What motivated you to be into this? And, you know, like, wow, that is very inspirational. I would love to talk to you more about this. So maybe next time we can meet for lunch or coffee, you know, because then that creates after that, you know, and you have time to meet as many people. Make it short, ask a few questions, get the business card, and move on. What I do is, about a day or 2 days later, I put about 2 hours in my calendar. I look at the business cards that I met, and I email personal emails to each person individually. Hey, Kevin, it was so nice meeting you at this event yesterday, or, you know, whenever. I really loved what you're doing. I'm very curious and interested, and I want to learn more about you. And do you mind if we go for a coffee, or, you know, we grab lunch, just so I can see how we can connect? And, you know, I believe that we can work together, we can network. That makes the person feel special, because they are, you know, you're interested to connect and collaborate. I've never gotten a no, you know, people never, I'm sorry, I don't want your coffee.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, sorry, who are you? I'm drinking too much of that event. Anybody, that's right.
Everyone is always, sure, definitely, let me see when, you know, and sometimes, you know, people are busy, they might not, you know, grab coffee with you like the next day. You know, I've had people who I've scheduled a month in advance.
Sure.
Or, you know, even later, because, you know, you're traveling, you're doing all these things, but people never turn me down. And we have great conversations, because then when you're meeting for that 1 hour that you've set up to meet for coffee or lunch or whatever, they are mentally prepared to come listen to you. They're not distracted by anything else. They
what
just
a great point. Yeah.
That's when you can talk about yourself, because they're interested. Don't start talking about, you know, you when you're in an event. And people do this all the time. I don't know why, you know, and it's because for me, I've realized that when somebody just starts talking about themselves, they might be great, but I don't know if I want to connect to them. I don't know. It's a psychological thing.
Right.
So that's one point. The other point with social media is such a powerful tool. I mean, it is incredibly powerful. You have the opportunity to make an impact for millions of people to see what you're all about, all from the comfort of your own home or whatever you may be. And so what I say with that, you know, it's great that you love cats. It's great that you love dogs. It's great that you like to party, whatever you like to do. If you're a business person and if you're really serious, I would suggest to make a private account, and that's for your own personal stuff and family. But if you want to really leverage your social media for business, only have professional pictures. It's okay to post, things if you travel. Make it personal to a certain extent. Like I travel, for example, and I put some of my traveling pictures in there. But I talk about business. I use that to talk about business. I use that to showcase my skills, to showcase my experience, my education. And I've met so many people through social media. I mean, I've met people from Dubai who I'm doing business with right now. I've met people from so many different parts of the world, and just here from, the States as well, but just people from California, people from New York that I've done business with. I mean, even last month, I met this incredible, amazing gentleman from New York who does, he's in theater production and all that stuff. And I met him through another mutual friend on Facebook, and it was all business related. And I was flying to, I had a meeting actually in New York, and from there I had to fly, out of the States, but I made some time to meet with this person. And I was so thankful because I met such a genuine person and who was potentially we're going to connect and do something together in the future. But it's different things like this, and reach out to people. But first, be serious on social media. Don't just post everything. And please keep politics and religion stuff, all the stuff aside. I mean, I share certain things, but if you're going to start debating and then tell your problems to the world, nobody wants that,
Yeah.
That's, everything has its own timing.